Hello everyone, this is Kathy again. I am back with part two of just talking about introducing people to being a pastor's wife, and just the new the beginning of it all. In my first video, I basically just told you why I'm doing this. It's basically just walking with me on my journey. This is my walk, my truth, the naked truth, the whole truth. This is a journey that I'm ready to take. I have no choice actually, because I have accepted this calling of being a pastor's wife. Um, this is basically my testimony. And like I said before, I want to just share that with you because there are, I'm sure, a lot of pastors' wives that are just starting out, and they're not sure what to do. They're not sure if they're doing it right. And I don't have all the answers, so I can't tell you if you're doing it right. But I know that just our foundation should be the Word of God. We should be going by what the Word says and making sure that we are being Spirit led in it all. But with that comes a lot of other wisdom and common sense that we should be taking on. And we just have to make sure that we are being led in the natural, as well as in the spirit. And in the natural, it's just basically out using your common sense and living from day to day, making sure that all needs are met, making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And no, we don't know all of the answers. I don't know all of the answers. And that's why I'm gonna make sure I do a segment on a prayer life, reading your scriptures, knowing the word, and that's one of the things that I want to kind of talk about in another segment. But in this part two of the introduction, I wanted to basically just go over some insecurities that I had, and corrections that I had to go through with my husband also being my pastor. Um, and so I just kind of want to talk about that. When we first started, like I said, this is going on our second year in the ministry. And when we first started, like I told you before, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was expected of me. I kind of wondered how would the members receive me. That was my biggest dilemma and question that I pondered. How are the members going to receive me? How are they going to accept me? Would they accept me? Would they judge me? Would the members expect me to know just as much as the pastor? And that was a big problem for me at first, because I wondered, am I supposed to know a lot more than I do know? Am I supposed to be just as on the same on that spiritual level as he is? Am I supposed to be counseling the church members that begin to come in? I had to learn all of these things. Am I supposed to be just, what am I supposed to be doing? I mean, I knew about witnessing because I used to work on the altar ministry at a previous church, and I know about witnessing, and I know how to expound on the word and find the correct scripture based on what that person is going through, and being able to lead them to Christ. That's all a part of the altar work ministry, and that I do know about. But I didn't know if I was supposed to be on the next level, whatever that was, when I became pastor's wife. So all these things I pondered in my mind. I used to, when people would want him to counsel them, or they would ask me for, they wouldn't necessarily ask me for counseling, but they may ask me a question, and I may go back and tell my husband the answer that I told them, the words of wisdom that I had, and he didn't necessarily agree with it. And so for that, I was corrected. I was put in my place, and I thought, because by nature I'm a counselor anyway. I'm a school counselor, so I'm used to talking to people, and I'm used to giving them advice, and what I call sound advice. But I have to make sure I distinguish the difference between that, and I also had to learn, and still learning, how to distinguish the difference between my husband being my pastor as well. He's my pastor just like he is everyone else's pastor. So that was a big deal for me, because I didn't know how to separate the two. And when we first, when God blessed us with our church, our first church, there was some remodeling that needed to be done, reconstruction in the church. So we was like cleaning the church up, trying to remodel it, going buying this and buying that for the church. I was trying to decorate. He would ask me to decorate some parts of the church, some rooms. The foyer, I tried to decorate that, and then he didn't like it. So he would say it looked like I was decorating the house, decorating at home. And so I'm like, and so I would get mad. So I got mad at my husband. I didn't get mad at the pastor. But it was the pastor that was giving me this constructive criticism. You get what I'm saying? So when he corrected me about how to decorate in the church, I was actually helping him out, trying to decorate the church for my husband. But it wasn't my husband that I was supposed to be decorating the church for. It was the pastor that I was decorating different rooms for. And I could not separate the two. I didn't know how to separate the two. I didn't know that I was supposed to separate the two. But he's my husband, he's my pastor. La da do, la da da, that's the same person to me. Well, it's not. They're not the same person, because when they get in pastor mode, they are definitely in pastor mode and definitely not in husband mode. So you have to understand the difference. You have to begin to learn the new roles, your role, his role. You have to begin to learn the difference in the two. And I am definitely still learning the difference in the two. If I would try to talk to a member, like I said, I didn't know if I was supposed to. There's a difference between witnessing to a member and counseling a member. A big difference. And because I'm a counselor by my occupation, then I had that frustration, or that confusion that I was dealing with, trying to see where do I draw the line at, and I had to kind of step back, because when we first started, he didn't necessarily want me to counsel any members, but he did ask me to sit in on some counseling, and that was fine. I just kind of had to figure out what what my role was. And so after we kind of established that, and it's all about communication, I learned how to begin to ask him more questions of what is it that he expected me to do. What is it that you want me to do? Because this correction thing, as a church, as a member, I do not like it. So I didn't like being corrected by my husband That was a big deal because I'm saying to myself, I'm your wife. Don't talk to me any kind of way and don't try to correct me. And you should be giving me more respect and not even coming and trying to correct me. All of these things. So, um, I so I had to deal with that as well. And I kind of, I would pray about it and just kind of learn my role, ask the Lord to just help me to figure it all out, show me, lead me, guide me. And that is a big part of it. You have to pray about it and ask the Lord to show you, because again, this was my husband's first time being a pastor as well. He, like I said, he had already been a deacon, a minister, and an elder, had been ordained all these things and appointed these things. And now he was placed in the pastorship role, and this was new to him as well. So, was he a little overwhelmed as well? Yes, I would definitely say so. So we were both learning how to try to figure all of this stuff out. So we decided to just try to learn together. And as the Lord led him, I just had to trust. I had to trust that. I had to believe that's where God was leading him, and whatever He told me, I began to accept that. I began to submit myself as a member, you know, as well as a wife to Him, and just kind of learn the ropes. It was all new. No one knew all the answers, and and I'm still learning and trust. That correction, the insecurities, all of those insecurities that I had, the insecurities were things like when I was corrected as a church member. I had, not as a wife, I was corrected as a church member, and so, which I told you I didn't really understand all of that. I didn't really, I didn't appreciate it. But as I was corrected, then I became insecure about, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I can't even, decorate this right. I can't counsel, the members that I'm trying to counsel. I can't counsel them. And I don't know what my role is. I didn't know what I was doing. So I kind of became insecure, very insecure. If he had to receive phone calls in the middle of the night and counsel people on the phone, and who are you talking to this late? And I should have been already used to that because he was a minister also, and years before that, and people always used to call about things. So I was used to that, but just being in a pastor role and a pastor's wife role, I still had some other insecurities, not feeling like I fit in as a first lady, because the only thing I had to go on was the fact that the people before me that were first ladies, what they showed me, and it was, you didn't see them at home, you just saw them at church, and whatever they showed you, it was like, they just kind of, I don't know, they just kind of, they sat there, and it was almost like they did everything right. People would come to them. In the bigger churches, you had the armor bearers, and I was an armor bearer myself, and before, so it was like everyone was almost catering to them. We started out in a smaller church, so I didn't get any of that, and I don't know if I got to be here or not, but I guess I was thinking that I was supposed to get these things, like an armor bearer, and I was supposed to, get some kind of VIP treatment. And I remember this is plain Jane, plain Kathy, but that's what I saw, so that's what I thought that I was supposed to be receiving. But we started out in a small church with just our family. just my husband and I and our two girls. It was just the four of us, and then people start trickling in. They would come and go, come and go. So it was unstable, and we were just trying to figure it all out. People came, and we were ministering to the people, so they didn't even know how to be an armor bearer or cater to the pastor and first lady, and it was just basically a non-traditional church. And the funny part is that's what we are. We are a non-denominational, non-tradition. So we don't go by all the traditions. So I had to get that out of my head that it's not gonna be a traditionalized church where you normally see armor bearers walking behind, the pastor or the first lady. And I mean, we're a small church, and so you're not going to see all of these things. We don't have big to do bishop, first lady birthdays and anniversaries and all of these things, So like I said, we're just starting out, and that's okay. I just needed to realize that that's not why we was there. That's not why God had planted us there. He planted us there to spread the gospel and win souls. It wasn't about people catering to us. And that was good. It helped us and kept us to be humble. So the insecurities soon started to leave when people began to come in, and I didn't feel any eyes, looking. I didn't feel judgment. I didn't feel any of those things. And then I felt like they did accept me for who I am and who I was. And they actually thought that I was probably judging them, or thought that I was going to judge them, because we were pastor and first lady of the church. And some of them had not even gone to church before, or they didn't grow up in a church, so they thought that we were the ones that was judging. And when I just showed them the real me, and I didn't have all of these things, I didn't have this title that they had to bow down and call me, the first lady. They didn't have to do any of those things. So I didn't have these things set before them, these rules that they had to go by. We didn't have any of those things. So they saw that we were genuine people, and true, genuine, plain people. And they were able to receive us more, and that felt good. That felt really good. We didn't judge anything that they wore to church. We just didn't. When I was growing up, you didn't wear pants, and if someone came in the church with pants and big old earrings and all these things, we would kind of be looking with the side eye. So again, all of these things we had to learn. So the insecurities came from the correction in the church, and I had to basically learn how to separate being a wife, the pastor's wife, and the pastor's church member. So when I learned how to do that, then the insecurities began to fade away. And I learned how to accept correction as a member, and become more secure with myself. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you about some of you as pastors' wives. You may feel insecure at the beginning because you don't know how church members will accept you. You don't know how or what to do. You don't know what you should be doing, what your role should be. But I just encourage you, just basically go and talk to your husband, your pastor, and find out what he expects of you. What does he want you to be doing in the church? Because that's gonna be a big part of it, and it's really gonna be valuable and important for you to know what is the expected role from your pastor. So, and that's all for this segment. I just kind of wanted to share that with you as well. And we'll be talking about some other things. And just go and subscribe, like my status, my videos. Subscribe, and we'll have more topics coming up soon. I'll try to put one out as often as I can. Like I said, we're stuck in the house due to COVID-19, and it looks like we're going to be here for a while. And so we're out of school for the rest of the school year. And so what better things to do than to fast and pray and read God's word, and to talk about and try to encourage other pastors' wives. So you be blessed, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.